But first, to find out a little bit more about the spirit of these awards, I would like to welcome onto the stage a man whose frequent appearances on your TV or radio is a sure sign that somewhere on Earth a travel firm has gone bust, an ash cloud has appeared, a union has gone on strike, or a mind-boggling new surcharge has been introduced by Ryanair. Senior travel editor of The Independent, the one and only Simon Calder.
Thank you very much indeed, Dan, and thank you to Wanderlust. I've got two things to celebrate tonight. It's the first time I've been upgraded. Normally I spend my life on Ryanair, but I'm in the front row with extra legroom. Thank you for that. Secondly, they very kindly used a picture of me from 1984. Oh, hang on. Sorry. A text just coming in from the UK Board Agency. Noel Bruno Dawson. The good news is he's in a cab. The bad news is it's going to Harmondsworth Detention Centre. It is absolutely scandalous. Bruno applied for his visa on the 21st of August and only found out this week that he was able to go. We're here, of course, because of one man, and that is, of course, Paul Morrison. We will hear, during this evening, we've already heard about his marvellous intuition for travel, for culture, for adventure, for opening up the world for people. Paul would have been 53 now, and who knows what he would have made with the world as it is with tweeting, with the internet and everything else, because sadly he died, can you believe, nearly 7 years ago. We miss him hugely, of course, but he is making all of our lives richer, and that is because he and Lynn knew what was needed when they got onto a plane to Ecuador. It was a Viasa plane, so therefore, by definition, it didn't have in-flight entertainment. In 1992, so long before my picture was taken, that they set off. They didn't have any in-flight entertainment, so they devised a magazine that would revolutionise the world, to the extent that if you go to Luang Prabang, go on then, hands up who's been to Luang Prabang. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't make the R silent as you're supposed to. Then the whole place, and people will verify this, is full of stickers just saying, we are the greatest city in the world. We know because Wanderlust magazine said so. And that is because Paul and Lynn wanted to inform and inspire the world. And my goodness me, we need it. Here's another lovely couple. Go on then, shout out who this is. Tony Wheeler and indeed Maureen Wheeler, his wife, co-founders of Lonely Planet. They had a fantastic idea. Let's open up the world. This is in 1974. They brought out the first edition of Across Asia on the Cheap. Marvellous book, but look, they didn't have to try very hard. Let's just take a country like Bhutan. Just imagine you're trying to describe the climate. Are you going to talk about the monsoon in the lower levels, the changeable weather in the north? Or are you going to say, it's like Nepal? So there was much to be done. Here's the internet as it existed then. This is, of course, the thorn tree in Nairobi. And this is how it looked. Something needed to be done. And who were the people to do it? Well, there were so many conflicting sources of information, which is why Wanderlust has always been there to provide the advice you need. But it's also recognised that however much electronic advice there is no substitute for local advice wherever you are in the world. And nothing like trying to find the airport in Casablanca to wake you up. So it happens all the time. Here we are. Who wouldn't want to be in Bath? Lovely city. And who wouldn't want breakfast at Jamie's Italian? Well, the trouble is that Jamie's Italian is over here. That's why you need local knowledge. You also need somebody to make sense of the slightly tricky travel industry. And I think, we saw on the masthead of Wanderlust magazine, travel, adventure and culture. We've got to make sense of culture as well. Also, we have to show that British people are not the terrible ambassadors that so many people think that they are. Would you believe? I found a picture from Ecuador, which is the journey on which Paul and Lynn founded Wanderlust magazine. There is a pub with this on the side. Now, I can't leave without leaving you a couple of ideas that Paul and Lynn talked about in the early days as a kind of slogan for Wanderlust. This one I think they left behind quite early on. And this one, well, they're still Lynn is still thinking about whether it should be there. But in fact, talking of rivals, of course, there is no rival for Wanderlust magazine. As one of tonight's judges, the great Mark Ellingham, said, he said once or twice a year, people approach me with an idea for a rough guide travel magazine. My response is always the same. It exists already, and it's called Wanderlust. The advertisers love it, and the readers are as faithful as the family dog. It's true. It brings you the world, and would you believe that Wanderlust is branching out? Exclusively, I can reveal to you that in the first week of February 2013, and you are the first people to hear about this, the first Wanderlust convention will be taking place, celebrating independent travel from around the world. It's going to be held in Sri Lanka, and I look forward to seeing you there. Tonight, let's celebrate Paul Morrison. Thank you.